Hello everybody, this is Solar Tiger with another video from the solar powered shed. Today is the 31st of March 2019, aka it's Mother's Day, and I've been working in the solar shed. I have been having a good tidy up in the shed, and I have moved some of my stuff to my other shed, and I've rearranged in here. The workbench has gone from over there to over here, and I've got a lot more floor space, as you can see now, so I don't keep falling over things. So the main thing I'm going to talk about is my solar power system. So on the roof of the shed there's a 50-watt solar panel that's connected to my Sunsaver MPPT 15 amp solar charge controller, and that is connected to my battery. It's a platinum AGM sealed lead acid battery. It is maintenance free and it lives in this battery box. I have a wooden battery box that normally has a lid that I cheekily use as a seat. It's strong enough to take my weight, but the main reason it has a lid is to stop things falling in, mainly metal items, since this is a shed and there's tools and screws and banners and stuff that I don't want to get into the battery box, because that could cause a short circuit across the battery, which could lead to a fire. So I have been using my system today. I've been using the 12-volt water pump that's down here, that pumps water from my rainwater tank that I use to water my garden, and this thing has a rated current of 3.9 amps, but in real life it consumes anything up to 5 or more amps when running. So I have a cord that plugs into this 12-volt outlet that is on a circuit with a 7.5 amp fuse. I had a 5 amp fuse before, believing that the device only drew 3.9 amps or 4 amps, but I blew the fuse, so I had to replace it with a 7.5 amp one that hasn't blown as of yet. So anyway, this solar power system is in my shed. It's connected to the 50-watt solar panel, and over the winter I haven't been using the shed as it was cold. I don't come out when it's cold, so the system hasn't been used over the winter, but it has been connected to the solar, so whenever the sun came out it charged the battery, and when I came out the battery voltage was well over 13-14 volts. So I thought, oh, the battery is getting a good charge, it's being kept topped up, and I'm not going to have any issues. But what I noticed is that I ran the water pump for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I noticed that the battery voltage was dipping under 12 volts. We're going down to somewhere like 11.8 volts or something like that. And I thought, that's not great. And I thought that, yeah, I have a 100 amp hour battery and I'm only drawing 5-6 amps maybe, that the battery should be able to hold up to providing that current without the voltage sagging down too low. So what I thought is that on my indoor system I have a battery desulphator connected across my battery bank. I have 3 similar batteries to these in parallel, and I have a desulphator wired across the battery bank, and the battery bank seems to do very well. The battery voltage doesn't dip down too much even when I run the inverter and draw maybe up to 10 amps from the battery bank, and the battery maintains over 12 volts all the time. So I thought, okay, I will get a desulphator for the shed, for the battery in the shed. So I went on eBay and I looked through the listings, and eventually I bought one for around £20. The device I'll show you in a moment. So the device I bought is the Extra Life Battery Pulse, which claims it will extend the life of your battery by up to 3 times whilst maximising its performance. Well, I thought I need to maximise the performance of my existing battery, so I thought I'd give this a go. It comes with a lifetime guarantee, and basically you can use it anywhere where you are using a 12 volt lead acid battery. Here are some applications in motor vehicles, golf carts, cars, motorcycles, caravans, etc, etc. We shall turn over the back to find out more. Okay, it says batteries do not die of old age. Most batteries die of sulfation, but we'll come to that later. They get choked by sulfation. This is caused by lead sulfate in the electrolyte building up over time to form a barrier on the plates, preventing them from accepting a charge and reducing the overall capacity of the battery. Our pulse technology works with all types of lead acid batteries, including sealed, gel cell and AGM, by keeping the plates clean and free from sulfation. The Extra Life Pulse unit will remove this sulfation and extend the life of your battery by up to 3 times, as well as maximising its performance. This unit is suitable for 12 volt batteries up to 180 amp hours. Important, when dealing with any battery, care must be used. Please wear all necessary protective equipment such as gloves, eye protection, etc. Fitting your device is very simple. Simply connect the red wire to the positive of the battery and the black wire to the negative terminal of the battery. And that is it. A flashing light within your Extra Life Pulse unit indicates the unit is working correctly. For best results, always recharge your battery after use. And then there's a website for the company. So what it's saying is that this device will help to extend the life of your battery by up to 3 times by removing sulfation that is building up on your battery's internal plates, and to stop further sulfation occurring. What it does basically is it splits up the sulfation and through chemical reaction returns chemicals back into the electrolyte in your battery. That's how it works. So this device can be used with sealed, gel cell and AGM batteries. Well, I have an AGM battery, and so the unit will work for me. And there's a picture of the unit, how to connect it to your battery. There's just 2 wires, a red and a black. You connect the red to the positive and the black to the negative. It comes with these ring terminals fitted, but these were not big enough to fit the terminal bolts of my battery, so I cut them off and replaced them with some larger ones out of my crimp connector set. I found that buying a set of crimp connectors was a lot cheaper than buying individual ones. So I bought a set off of eBay for, I think it was £4 or £5, and I have a crimping tool. If you don't have a crimping tool, at a pinch you can use a pair of pliers, although that's not really recommended, and a pair of wire strippers up here makes stripping your wires a lot easier. So I shall take you to the battery. As I said, the battery lives in the battery box. This is a platinum valve regulated AGM sealed battery. It doesn't require any maintenance other than keeping it charged. There's no topping up of water as the battery is sealed. It does have some pressure vent valves built in case you severely overcharge it, but under normal conditions it's a sealed battery. So as you can see here, this is the Extra Life Pulse unit. It's about 1 inch by 1.5 inches, I would say. So it's very small. It comes with a sticky pad on the back to stick it in place, and it sticks very well. And there's 2 wires. The leads are about, I don't know, 6 inches long, and as you can see, I changed these crimper connectors to fit my terminal bolts. You connect the device across your battery so it's connected all the time, and you just leave it to get on with the job. So it uses some power from your battery to power it, but I have a solar power system to replenish the charge, so it's not going to run my battery down. So over time it should improve the performance of my battery. That's the idea of these devices. And bear in mind, if you buy a new battery of this kind, they cost well over £100, so anything that can make your battery last longer is good news, because that will save you money. This battery I bought second hand for about £60, but I still like to make it last as long as possible. So with your battery, you don't want to discharge it by more than about 50%, because that will impact its overall service life. So for a 12 volt battery, 50% charge is around about 12 volts. I will say that when I run my water pump, the voltage went down to 11.8, but the moment I turned it off, after a minute or two, the voltage was well back up again, about 12.6 to 12.8 volts. So I think that there is nothing really wrong with the battery. I do have an inverter connected to my system, and this is a 600 watt inverter, but it's wired up for a maximum of 300 odd watts. It's connected through a cut-off switch, and inside here there is a 40 amp fuse. I installed it originally to run my grass trimmer, but due to unforeseen circumstances I don't have a mains powered grass trimmer anymore. I do have a cordless one, and I can use it to run the battery charger, so that won't run to a lot of power. So mainly I use 12 volt stuff, like my water pump. I have a music system with a small amplifier, a couple of watts there maybe, and some USB fans. I might occasionally use this 3 watt LED light bulb, and that's about it really. I do sometimes use a soldering iron out here, that's 20 watts, it plugs into there. And this is my system. So installing a battery desulphator on your system can help maximize the performance of your battery bank or battery, and it can increase the life of your battery by up to 3 times. So anything that prolongs the service life of your batteries is good news, because you make a big investment in them and they are very expensive, and admittedly at some point you will have to replace them, but the longer you can go between replacements, the better, and that will save you money in the long run. So the motto of this story is you can install a battery desulphator, but the motto is to recharge your batteries regularly. If your battery is not connected to a charger permanently, then the best thing is to recharge it after every use, and don't discharge it and leave it flat for long periods. And that's about it. So this is Solar Tiger saying thank you for watching my video, and I'd like to thank you for watching. If you like what you've seen, please click like and subscribe to my channel, and until next time, this is Solar Tiger saying thank you for watching from the Solar Shed. Thank you.